All right, welcome. Today we're going to talk about a law of physics that's basically a superpower. It's the ability to see the invisible, to actually map out the tiny little building blocks of all matter. We are talking about Bragg's law.
So let's just start with a puzzle that's kind of mind-blowing. We all know atoms and molecules are impossibly small, right? They're way too tiny to see with a regular microscope. So how in the world do we know what they look like? How do we ever figure out the shape of DNA?
Well, the solution is it's incredibly clever. It's not about seeing atoms directly. Instead, it uses two very special tools. First, you need the perfect repeating order you find in a crystal, where all the atoms are lined up in these nice, neat layers. And second, you need a special kind of light, one with a really short wavelength, X-rays.
Now, you can't just throw these two things together and hope for the best. There's a very precise set of rules for how they interact, and that rule is the key. It's the code that lets us unlock the secrets of atomic structure. And, you guessed it, it's called Bragg's law.
Okay, let's look at the law itself. At its core, it's this beautifully simple equation. Now, don't let the symbols intimidate you. Think of it like a recipe. It connects the stuff we can control, like the X-ray's wavelength and the angle we shine it, to the one thing we can't see, that precise spacing between the layers of atoms. This table really helps break the code for us. You've got lambda, that Greek letter, which is just the wavelength of our X-ray. Think of it as our atomic scale ruler. Then there's theta, which is the angle we're firing the X-rays at. We can control that. And d? Well, d is the prize. That's the secret we're trying to find, the actual distance between those layers of atoms.
So how does a simple equation make all this happen in the real world? Well, it's not magic, it's actually a brilliant bit of physics. It's all about how these X-ray waves bounce off the crystal's layers and line up in perfect harmony.
The main idea here is something called constructive interference. Now, a quick but really important point. The X-rays don't just reflect like light off a mirror. When an X-ray hits an atom, it gets scattered in all sorts of directions. That's called diffraction. And most of the time, all those scattered waves just cancel each other out. It's just noise. But, and this is the key, at very specific angles, the waves line up perfectly. Their peaks match up with other peaks, their troughs with troughs, and they amplify each other into one big, strong wave. A signal we can actually detect. That's constructive interference.
And this shows you exactly how it works. So, one wave from our X-ray beam scatters off an atom on the top layer. Another wave goes a little deeper and scatters off an atom in the layer below it. See, that second wave had to travel a little bit farther to get in and out. And here's the magic. The Bragg equation tells us the exact angle, that just right condition, where that extra distance the second wave traveled is a perfect whole number of wavelengths. And when that happens, boom! The two waves come out perfectly in sync, they add up, and we get a strong signal that our detectors can pick up.
So you can see, this builds from a really clever physics trick into a tool that has genuinely changed our entire world and how we understand it. I mean, the impact is just staggering. In materials science, it lets us build stronger alloys for things like jet engines. In geology, it's how we can identify a mineral from a tiny little speck of rock. And in biology and medicine, it's a total game changer. It lets us see the complex 3D shapes of proteins, which is absolutely crucial for designing new drugs. And yep, this is exactly how the double helix structure of DNA was finally revealed to the world.
This slide just captures the revolution perfectly. Before Bragg's law, scientists were basically making educated guesses. They were working in the dark. Afterwards, it was like someone just flipped on the lights. We went from fuzzy ideas about what molecules look like to creating precise, detailed 3D blueprints. It was a massive leap forward.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Let's look at the final picture and bring everything together into one big takeaway.
Ultimately, that's what Bragg's law is. It's the decoder ring. It lets scientists take a simple pattern of dots from their X-ray detector, a pattern that just looks like abstract art, and translate it into a rich, detailed 3D model of a molecule. It's the bridge that connects the world we can't see to the world we can understand.
And that just leaves us with this one exciting thought. By using X-rays to light up the atomic world, we solved one of humanity's greatest mysteries. It really makes you wonder, with the tools we have now, what other invisible structures are out there, just waiting for us to find the right key to unlock them?